And our final speaker this afternoon from Burwood Girls High School, please welcome Gracie.
Lucy is a terminal cancer patient. She suffers pain every day, is often on a drip, and can no longer do the things she wishes to do. Breathe in the fresh air, spend time with those who matter, and live out her life in peace. So the doctors do the only compassionate thing. We say our goodbyes. We tell her that we love her, and she is gently given a drug that will send her up into a peaceful, painless, and permanent sleep. Lucy is no longer in insufferable pain. Lucy is a Labrador, and if she were a human, the doctors would end up in jail on assisted suicide charges. Yet many people want the same treatment as Lucy. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that none of us in this room today know how and when we will die. But what if we were told we had an incurable disease and one that is going to kill us? Most of us would do everything in our power to stay alive for as long as we can to find that miracle cure. But at some point, many who have been given that dreaded terminal prognosis decide that when the time has come, they want to spare themselves and their families a slow and painful death. In the US, this is possible thanks to the Death with Dignity law. This gives terminal patients access to painless, lethal drugs and allows them to say goodbye in person. Unfortunately, this act is only legal in 3 states. There is a vast array of propaganda against this bill. The Catholic Church opposes this law, as many governments do too. Opponents believe that suicide, as they call it, is an unjust way to end any life. They say that it is lazy of doctors to prescribe these lethal drugs to terminal patients. True Dignity is an organisation in Vermont, and it opposes this law as well. They say that True Dignity is fighting the illness. This is so hurtful and disrespectful to many patients and also their loved ones who support the happy ending of a Death with Dignity case when the time has come. America's Death with Dignity law lets us examine both sides of this issue, and one young woman gives us a sad but yet inspiring example of why, when the time has come, it is possible for a tragic prognosis to have a happy ending. Brittany Maynard began experiencing headaches in late 2013, and by New Year's, she was diagnosed with brain cancer. By April, it was clear that the cancer was persistent. She searched the world for cures, but found none. Doctors told her that she had less than 6 months to live. Brittany found the Death with Dignity community and made the decision to move to Oregon with her husband to be eligible for the act. In November 2014, she chose to die on the 1st with prescribed barbiturates, a drug that sends the user into a deep, eternal sleep. Brittany was surrounded by her family and friends and was able to communicate with them up until her final moments of life. Since then, 1,773 people have applied for the right to die, and 752 have gone ahead with it. The website for Death with Dignity has many forums on which to discuss the matter. So I ask governments, how is it humane to refuse this medical treatment to patients who are taking extreme measures to end their pain? How is it humane to deny people the right to die peacefully and with love? And how is it humane to dismiss families and patients the right to say goodbye to each other with words and love and not separated by a life support machine? How? The public crusades of terminal patients, such as Brittany Maynard, are making a happy ending easier when the time has come for those who face the same fate. One survey found that 70% of Americans now believe that the law should be legalized in their state. Brittany Maynard was able to tick off her bucket list goal of visiting the Grand Canyon with her husband and parents. She could travel there because there were no treatments to keep her in Oregon. Brittany not only got to die with dignity, she made sure her last days were a happy ending for her and her family. Brittany had told journalists that if she felt good on November the 1st, her planned day to take the drugs, that she would wait. Before that carefully planned date, Brittany was able to wrap Christmas presents for her family, write letters to her husband for him to read in the years ahead, and say goodbye. At 14, I'm hopefully a long, long way off my death. But I have hope that my generation and those to come will have the option to control their passing in the case of a terminal illness. I have hope that the church will no longer condemn these deaths as a suicide. And I have hope that hospitals and physicians will offer this option to those who desire it. And I have hope that in a time of despair for terminal patients and their families, that they can plan a happy ending. So the time has come for governments to see the compassion and humanity in being able to plan a happy ending. Lucy the Labrador and Brittany the human, both happy individuals, both cancer patients, both resting in peace, safe from pain. But only one had to move from home, spending hours filling paperwork just for the right to a peaceful death. I want to give this last word to Brittany, who wrote this final Facebook post as she realised the time had come. Goodbye to all my dear friends and family that I love. Today is the day I have chosen to pass away with dignity in the face of my terminal illness, this terrible brain cancer that has taken so much from me, but would have taken so much more. The world is a beautiful place. Travel has been my greatest teacher. My close friends and folks are the greatest givers. I even have a ring of support around my bed as I type. Goodbye world, spread good energy, pay it forward. Thank you.